mountain cat.
Good evening again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is 7 o'clock, so if folks jump on later, that's totally fine. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name's Keith Peeler. I am the Director of Alumni Relations at Husson. I am in my third year and work with a terrific team of about 10 folks in the advancement office. And I'm going to take a back seat this Zoom event, and I'm going to turn it over to one of our student athletes who's going to moderate for this evening. So Allison, why don't you go ahead and take it away, and good luck for a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, Keith. Hi, everyone. I just want to thank all the parents and alumni and everyone else who is joining us. Thank you to the panelists, coaches, and athletes for helping to make this video. I'll start off by saying my name is Allison Kondracki. I'm a senior on the Husson track and field team. I am a hurdler, jumper, and sometimes relay person. We are recording this Zoom so people can view it later on. So just so everyone is aware of that. If anyone has any questions throughout the Zoom, you are welcome to type them in the chat below, or at the end, there'll be a time for questions where everyone will have the opportunity then. So first, we're going to start off by going through some introductions with the coaches and then go into the athletes. So Coach Goop, would you like to start?
Sure. So Coach Kate Goupee, and I've been at Husson since 2012, and I am the head coach for all the cross country and track and field programs, primarily the distance coach during the track season. And I've been running since I was 12, and I'm 41, so I've spent a lot of time in this area. I've coached middle school, high school, and college, and I can honestly say I've enjoyed the college athletes the most. A lot of fun. Personally, I am married to my high school sweetheart and works at another institution that we won't name. And we have 2 wonderful little girls. And that's about it for me.
Thank you. Coach Fazzino, would you like to go next?
Sure can. Coach Frank Fazzino. This is my 4th year at Husson. I am the associate head coach under Kate for the cross country and track and field teams. I am the strength and conditioning coach, the throws coach, multis coach, jumps occasionally, and that's about it, but I try to help out where I can. I am married to my lovely wife. She actually works in admissions. She's hiding somewhere, but we met at my former college that I worked at. She followed me all the way to Husson, so I know that's true love. Other than that, I think that's all for me.
Thank you. All right, Coach Wortman, you're up.
Definitely. Frank, you forgot the most important part of your life, and that's your dog. You know, he makes it to all of our different practices. But my name's Tristan Wortman. Hurdles pole vault coach. This is my 2nd year, and I love it. You know, Husson is such a cool family. All the athletes, coaches, I feel like we're such a tightly knit group of people that you wouldn't find anywhere else. So I love to be a part of that. Like I said, specifically pole vault and hurdles is what I focus on. I love to jump back and forth and learn some new stuff and go through some stuff. I competed at the University of Maine, or as Kate called it, the school we won't talk about, for between the years of 2011 and 2015. Graduated there. Now a math teacher over at Dexter Elementary School, 8th grade. Love it. I just love working with kids, working with adults, so it's super fun. I have a lovely wife and 2 little boys and another boy on the way. So we got a cool group of guys in our house currently, and a wife that likes to stick around too.
Awesome. Thank you. Next, Athletic Director Frank Pergolizzi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you. My name is Frank Pergolizzi. I'm the Director of Athletics at Husson. I've been here, came in October of 2013. So I'm in my 8th year. I actually hired Kate. So I'll take a good part of the credit for that. And during the time that I've been here, we've started, Kate, which ones did we start? Men's and women's outdoor?
Let's see. I was here for the first year of men's cross country and women's indoor. And then I've been the head coach for men's indoor and outdoor start.
So all that. Kate's done a great job. Frank does a great job. We're happy to have him here. And Tristan, I have my dog right down, lying at my feet. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we'll start getting into some of the athlete introductions. We'll start with Evan.
How are we doing, everyone? I'm Evan Chadbourne. I'm a senior at Husson. I'm on my 4th year out of my 5-year accelerated master's program. I come from a small town in Maine called Harmony, and then I went to Dover Foxcroft, and I ran track there and football. And then Coach Goupee offered me to extend my career at Husson, so I chose Husson.
What events do you do, Evan?
I'm a sprinter, the 100 and 200 and outdoor, and maybe the 4x4, maybe. An indoor, around the 55, 200, and the 4x2.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll have Julia go next.
Hi, so I'm Julia Glisson. I am in my 4th year of the PT program. So I'll be it's a doctorate program, so I have 2 more years for 6 years in total. I am distance, mid-distance. I did cross country for 2 seasons, and then my eligibility was up, so I wasn't able to participate this past fall. And then this is my 2nd/3rd season of track because I'm making up from last outdoor being canceled because of COVID. And then that'll be all my eligibility, unfortunately. Yeah, I like the 400, 800, sometimes the mile, and definitely I love the relays. Those are the best. And I'm from Merrimack, New Hampshire too.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll go with Nora next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nora Garvey. I'm in my 2nd year in the physical therapy program. I'm from Sutton, Massachusetts. I kind of am an all over the place kind of runner, wherever Goop feels she wants to put me. I'm also a hurdler, distance hurdler. So I do 400 hurdles as well as steeplechase outdoor. And I run cross country as well.
Perfect. Thank you. And Josh.
My name is Joshua Hart from Brewer. I'm in my 2nd year with the track team in the sport management program. I have experience in most of the track events except the throws, but pole vault's kind of my thing. So.
Perfect. So we'll start getting into some question and answer part of the Zoom. I'm going to generalize it to coaches and then athletes. So wherever you feel like you can throw some input in, feel free to answer the question. So the first one is towards the coaches, and it is, what types of things are your teams working on to keep the team physically and mentally in shape this semester? And how does the spring semester look like as far as competitions and meets?
Who wants to answer? I guess I can start since the other guys are on mute. What aren't we doing? We're trying a lot of different things to keep our athletes in shape and being very creative, using the basketball gym, taking our roll-out runways, being very creative with how we have 4 or 5 different workout groups working within the gym, and starting to maybe go outside a little bit right now. And as far as outdoor competitions, we do not have any outdoor competitions scheduled right now, but we have gotten 2 indoor ones in, and we have a 3rd modified meet lined up on March 5th and 6th at Thomas.
I do want to make
Tristan or
mention, yeah, I do want to make mention that, like Kate said, we've had to be really creative with what we're doing, not having a specific facility to do things. We're working in the gym, we're working outside. We're working together as a coaching staff to develop restorative workouts or speed workouts using the pool. So we've been extremely resourceful that we've been trying to do to get these athletes the same kind of workouts and technical trainings that they would on a regular indoor track. And if I'm being fair and saying, I really do think that the athletes, as much as we are without, I think we've made the most of it, and the athletes have made the most of it. They've had some of the best attitudes ever. And what we're doing to support them mentally as well, honestly, I think comes easy, because these guys are some of the strongest mentally. They're competitors. And I think the fact that they're going in this with an open mind, an open heart, it makes it a lot easier for us to say, look, hey, this is what we're handed. These are the cards that we've been dealt, and we're going to make the most of it. And I think that that's helped a ton. The support, the level of support within the athletes, like I said before, is such a great family. I've been very impressed with how everybody's been able to handle it. Absolutely. And I'm hoping for, and Kate knows more, Frank knows more than this, I'm hoping that the outdoor season looks a lot more consistent than, what we've seen so far in indoor. I am hoping for quite a bit.
And with regards to the weight room, which I'm working with all the athletes, they're putting in a great effort in there. And as far as adapting, you put them in any situation, they're just going to do amazing things. This fall, we were actually, since we didn't have any competition at that point, we had a weight room competition that I saw these kids, breaking personal records and all their weights, and it was a team atmosphere, and I built them up into little teams, and everybody was so competitive with each other, and it was just a great thing to watch everybody inspiring each other to, okay, add some more weight, let's go again. And I think that's the attitude they've had all fall, and now carrying into the spring, just really supporting each other and trying to make the best of what the situation is. And, they're staying positive. And it's a great thing to watch.
Great thing to be a part of. So for student athletes, tell us what it means to you to be a part of the Husson team.
I'll go first. I'll volunteer. Oh, you go ahead, Josh.
All right. I was just going to say, personally, for me, it's overall improved my entire experience at Husson. I know when regardless of being across the river from Husson, growing up in Brewer, I didn't know many people my freshman year. But the team took me right in, treated me like I was been a teammate for like 3 years. Just everybody's so close, like tightly knit. Definitely improved the all-around aspect I have living on campus.
To me, being on Husson's team is something very special. Back when I was in high school, I really didn't know where I wanted to go when I was graduating, and Coach Goupee was the only coach to email me. And through Husson's track and field program, I was able to spread my wings and develop a lot of skills that are going to help me later on in life.
When I came to Husson, I had transferred here from a community college in New Hampshire. And so I was really happy that Goupee reached out to me to be on the team, because I was on the cross country team at my other school, but they didn't have track, and I loved track when I was in high school too. So I was glad that I was able to join, and I've made honestly some of my best friends on the team, and it's just everyone's close with everyone. Like there's no like really big cliques or anything like other teams in other sports. So it's honestly just like everyone's supporting everyone, everyone's cheering, everyone is just friends with everyone, and it's awesome. And I'm glad to be part of such like a family that we like to call it, where like we're all such good friends, and I love it.
Awesome. So the next question will be directed towards the coaches, and is, what is one of your more memorable moments of the Husson teams?
I can just start it off real quick. I don't have as much experience as the other two coaches. Like I said, this is my second year, and what a second year it has been. But I will say that every meet has their own incredible ups. You know, there's definitely some downs as well too. But there are it's almost like every single meet, we're seeing kids break their personal records. We're seeing kids break school records. And this is every single meet. It's not like everyone did terrible one day, you know, and a couple people did great. It's like you're seeing some pretty cool marks every single meet. And to be able for these athletes to be able to put up the numbers that they're putting, or to be able to compete with teams that have been training all year round. And specifically, I can talk about pole vault and the hurdles, because they're more of the technical events that do require a lot of different things, or even the steeplechase. You know, how do you practice a steeplechase in a gym? You know, but if I can think specifically of one time to kind of show how I'm feeling, is last year during our spring break trip, we had gone to Myrtle Beach, and that was my first year. I really was starting to get to know the team. And that was one of the best times of my life, you know, getting to know these guys and training with them and seeing them every day and working in some of these different technical events, and seeing how appreciative they were of some of the stuff that we had was one of the coolest things. And if I wanted to talk about something specific, it would be more so of my 400 hurdler girls. We've got a couple of them on the call right now. We've got Nora and Allie. In that one meet, I mean, we had like a few days of practice in the 400 hurdles. And it was like, Nora, I mean, it was your first collegiate time running in the 400 hurdles, right? And Allie had the school record prior to this. So I knew I had a special group of girls. And I'm thinking, gosh, I want to come out here. We haven't had any practice in the 400 hurdles. What are we going to do? And those girls came out and slayed it. And it was one of the coolest feelings ever to be able to see like all four of my girls that were competing the 400 hurdles absolutely annihilated PRs, school records flying out the window. So it was one of the coolest things to see that we have such a great group of athletes that can take such a small thing and just blow it up and show how naturally gifted they really are and how devoted they are to doing well. And so it's so exciting to me to see these guys work as hard as they do. And the best part is seeing what comes from that. Absolutely.
I guess I can go. For me, I guess I've been around Husson for a while, and I've seen the development of the program, and, you know, I've seen kids win championships. I've seen us lose championships. And there's the big trips, you know, to California or Florida. There's all kinds of big things. But the most memorable experiences are watching someone like Evan, you know, who comes in and you're like, yeah, he's good. Yeah. And then rededicate his life around how good can he be. And within 3 years, be an all New England athlete. It's watching the transformation of these athletes, and it doesn't mean they have to become all New England. It's watching them transform into adults. And gets me a little teary-eyed watching that transformation and watching them become part of the family that we told them that they would become part of a family, and for that to become to fruition, and to see them just embrace and meet all these new friends and travel through their academic program and through the athletic program. And then 4 or 5, 6 years later, seeing them graduate, go off, start families, start their professional careers. It's all the little things that happen to get to there. It's watching them work well in a practice. It's learning about them having, some kind of chicken patty eating contest, or they like this buffet eating contest they do. All these different things that they do as a group that helps them grow and bond, and then allows them to just flourish on the track and on the field. It's never been one big moment or one big memory. It's the individuals and watching them develop that is definitely the most meaningful and impactful moments for me. And quite frankly, they happen on a daily basis, which makes this job fantastic.
I'll kind of agree with Kate. There's not like one specific memory. I think all the spring break trips are amazing. You get to hang out with these, great kids, do escape rooms, go to basketball games. It's an awesome experience for these kids. Some of them never left their own home state, and they get to go to a completely different coast to hang out and see the Hollywood sign, things like that. And then you have your bigger meets, and do the kids rise to the occasion? And you just watch them have these performances at conference meets, and are they going to break that record again? Oh my God, they just did it again. This is getting crazy. I remember my first conference meet, and the throws, I'm watching these athletes, some of them are unsure about themselves. Some are not sure how we're going to score. We need this and this. Are we going to get these points here? And then you're watching them become champions, astonishing themselves just every time they finish a throw. And it's like, did I just do that? Yeah, let's keep going. Make it happen. Let's keep riding this out. And just watching that moment of them kind of finally believing in themselves and able to keep surpassing where they think they could do. Really is great moments like that keep me coming back every year. And, it can happen on a day-to-day basis, which is the beautiful joy about coaching, I think.
Awesome. So now, students, do you have a favorite memory since joining the team?
Oh, I so want to hear this, people.
Kind of similar to what coaches, there's not necessarily just one moment that's like super memorable. One of my favorite things about like going to our meets and everything are relays. Like everyone's standing around the track, different points. Everyone's like, our entire team's there watching and cheering. I just remember my freshman year, we were at UMaine and we broke the indoor 4x4 record. And everyone was there. Everyone was cheering. It was they're just so fun just watching everyone like as a team get that school record or whatever.
The coaches mentioned it, but personally, the spring break trips are so awesome because it's like a whole different atmosphere, because you usually some people you just hang out with at practice. That's the only time you see them, or if you have a class with them. But when you're on the spring break trip, you can hang out with people and like make kind of like enhance your friendships with people that maybe you like hadn't really talked to because they're a different event group or something like that. And it's just such a cool thing because you're like having dinner with your teammates, which you normally wouldn't do, and get to do cool trips. Like we went to the aquarium, zoo, stuff like that. And the whole thing of flying somewhere too, when people haven't been on a plane before. Like, that's really fun. Just like seeing people's reactions when they're like, oh my gosh, we're taking off. And I'm like, yep, we are. It's just really fun. And just a super like good bonding experience.
I know the one thing that came to mind with me was that last spring break trip when we all found out that the season was ending. There was the one time we all get together at the end of each meet and we do the 3-2-1 Eagles. And then Jeff stopped everyone, was like, no, not Eagles this time. This time we're saying family. And it meant so much because that's really what it was. And it's so nice to like have that community. I was so nervous also when I graduated, like it was kind of going to be done, but like you guys had your first meet. I reached out to a couple of you and like all of you were so excited to hear from me. We're like, I miss you so much. And it's so nice to still be a part of that community.
Awesome. We miss you, Lily. So, coaches, what makes Husson sports special or unique compared to other school sports?
The people. It's that simple. It's the students that Husson attracts. They are academically inclined and motivated. They're hard workers. They're kind-hearted. And some of them, a lot of them happen to be athletically talented, which is great. And that hard work and dedication transfers to the track and field team and cross country. So it's, and the people that we work with in general, it's the athletics department, it's the students and faculty and staff on our campus. I had 2 recruits on today and I don't think I opened up a door. Students and faculty and staff are opening up doors and here you go, ma'am. It's the people, just done.
I agree. Specifically on our team, there isn't one person that I can think of that is above anybody else, that puts themselves above anybody. Everybody lifts each other up and doesn't drag anyone down. And being on other sports teams on different schools, that's something that's very relevant. That's something that there's always that 1 or 2 people that it's hard to be in the same room with, or they're dragging other people down, but that's not the case that I've seen so far. These athletes encourage each other. They're competitive, but they lift each other up. And I think that's a huge difference from other schools and other sports that I've seen.
Yeah, I can't mention enough the camaraderie of the team. Really, it's I've been coaching at 3 colleges, and this one, I always remember, you're going off to the throws, which end up being like 1.5 miles down the road from the track, and everyone's like, oh, do we have to go watch the throwers? They're so far away. Why can't they be over here? But with our group, they all just, as soon as their event's done, let's go see what the throwers are doing. Let's go over, hang out, and support them. And you just see a huge crowd just showing up, especially if it's a bigger meet. I did the conference meet. We were doing javelin. Everybody finished it at the same time, and everybody's surrounding the runway. You got Justin and Jeff both throwing pretty well. I think they ended up 1 and 2 in the conference, and it was that support system. You don't have teams like that everywhere. You're cheering for some people, but when you have a group that tight knit, and they want everybody to do well, and it's not just to win a championship. That's because those are some of my best friends. I want these guys to do amazing stuff every time they compete, and that's a great thing that you can't really find everywhere.
Awesome. Thank you. So, students, what are some goals that you have for yourselves for this spring?
I know for me personally, I'm dealing with a couple injuries right now. I'm trying to get rid of those, start fresh. And if all goes well, I would like to attempt a PR in the pole vault or at least get back to where I was. But we'll see how that goes.
I know for me, I was only able to run the steeplechase once last year in the spring. Hopefully we'll maybe be able to do it again, but I would really like to do it again and be able to improve on my time and really excel in that because I do think it's really fun. So
I like how you say really fun to the steeple, by the way.
I'd say one of my goals is for the spring, if we have the chance to, is even though coach knows or all the coaches know I do not want to run the 400, I want to attempt at least once or twice in the relay to try to take some records. Besides that, I think a good goal is just to have a positive mindset and just take every opportunity that we get and make the most out of it.
This is kind of like a team goal, but I know probably most of the athletes on the team, if we do have a conference championship, our goal will be to beat SUNY Delhi because we lost to them last spring or 2 springs ago, and it was a tough loss, but we were solid second.
All right. So coaches, what are some goals that you have for the program this spring?
I'll let Frank go first because he's had to go last a few times here.
Can't put me on the spot like that. That's messed up. So goals. Oh my God, you're killing me. I need that moment of composure to think.
You want me to go?
No, hold on, I got. For me, is just having some of the newer athletes, settle into a new college environment. I know that for some of them, competing in high school and then they get to college, whoa, this is completely different. This is way more competitive. So, watching them get comfortable and seeing how they can progress. For my returners, I don't care if we're practicing in a facility or we're in the gym. I've already seen some of them break records already, so I just want to keep that motivation going. Last week, Cade Wortman, amazing athlete, just gung-ho 24/7. That man has energy to last a lifetime. I don't understand it. And we haven't really been practicing high jump too much. He comes in last week and is like, all right, I'll just break the school record, just fooling around. And then he wanted to keep going. And I'm like, all right, it's really, let's go for it. Let's keep bumping it up. And then he just kept doing it. And I'm like, all right. And then his brother came over and he's like, you know what we should do just for fun? Let's move the bar up to like what would be qualifying for Open New England's. And I swear he almost had it on his second jump and he just got a little too fired up. But I just want to keep it going. I think that the kids are doing amazing stuff and they're not being limited what they are seeing in practices. They're getting the technical work. They're getting the endurance. They're getting the speed stuff. So for me, it's just, okay, you got PRs we want to break. Let's stick with them.
To just piggyback off Frank, and I'll let Kate close with a strong finish. If we could continue in the same direction that we have been so far, then I would say that my goal has been met for this season. I think that, like Frank said, with what we have during practices and seeing that we're still, athletes are still breaking records, we're still competing, then I will be so happy and satisfied with the goals that I had set prior to this year. And if I want to speak specifically, I've got Josh on the call here. He's my only guy pole vaulter right now. So sole pole vaulter. if I could set a specific goal for him, it would be to be able to get more vaults in. Yeah, we can make shift things. We can make shift sprinting on roads. We can set up some hurdles. But when it comes down to it, where are we going to find a hole in the ground with a safe spot to land? And so if I had a specific goal for one of the athletes in here, it would be, Josh, I want to get you a place where we can vault some more, or at least have that opportunity for sure. Because I know you've got the ability to set not only a personal record, but a school record for sure.
So I guess Anchor, having the whole picture and been working on the logistics of what could happen this spring, my goals really have come to be flexible and open to how can we provide a meaningful experience for all of our athletes, and that may look different from week to week. And how do we as a coaching staff make sure that we're taking care of not just the physical development, but the mental health of our athletes as they continue to train as hard as they're training, and the facility limitations and things of that nature. How do we take care of them so that if we do get a competition, it goes well, the academics are still going well. It's really just trying to make this whole thing meaningful for them and allow them whatever growth they can kind of take this spring semester, and for them to tell us how we can support them. What can we be doing better? What can we work on? What can we be creative with? And hopefully over the next 2 months, we meet the goals and the needs of all of our athletes.
Awesome. Thank you. Students, what are some life lessons or skills that you're learning at Husson, perhaps from your time on the team, that you feel are preparing you for life after graduation?
I think some of the best lessons or skills, characteristics that this team has produced for me personally is to be persistent with your goals and self-discipline. I think that in this sport, it's not like any other team sport like basketball, football. It's kind of individual. You can only make yourself as good as you want to be. And if you want to get to the top, you're going to have to do more work than the other people. Like if you have ever seen Cade do work, he does a tremendous amount. He'll be there at nighttime, in the morning, in the locker room, grinding really hard. So I think that like one of the best things that this sport can teach you is to just be persistent with your goals, be passionate, and be self-disciplined.
Another thing for me, coming from pole vaulting in high school, I have never fully been able to say that, like, going into a meet that I believe in myself, or I am confident. But since I've joined the Husson team, the coaches have definitely helped me find that inner self-confidence. And while I haven't been able to see it work in a meet, just in practices and lifts, even just throughout the day, I can already see the difference. Little things like that have been making.
Awesome. So the next 2 questions are kind of generalized to anyone. So feel free, coaches and athletes, you can answer them to the best of your ability. So how are you dealing with the lack of races/meets while keeping morale high? And are you able to utilize anything like virtual events or within team competitions?
Well, Frank put together a pretty awesome thing a few months ago that you might want to speak on, or some of the athletes might want to speak on, but it got pretty heated and very competitive within the team. So I'll let one of you guys go over that.
Okay, so I'll start it off. Yeah, we did a lifting competition, and for any of my athletes, I normally have max testing of different lifts, squats, benches, some of the Olympic lifts, cleans, things like that. And, everybody lifts at their own particular pace, and it's always about seeing your own improvement. And then I was thinking of, okay, how do we turn that into some sort of thing where we can work as a group? And I was like, all right, I'll just put them on teams, and whoever has the most improvement in pounds is the champion. And, we'll have like an Eagle award sort of thing. All right, I'll call it the Iron Eagles. And then we'll have, the person who can lift the most weight is the Golden Eagle. That is the pride and joy of this team. And because of, the pandemic a little bit, I got really bored and picked up a hobby over the summer and spring. So I started doing some wood carving. I actually made the winning team some little awards out of 2x4s, and it took a great deal of time and effort, but it was fun to try some stuff out, and I made little eagles on there, and then just a big plaque for the most improved and the highest pound percentage. And honestly, it was a distance person who was the most improved. I think it was Emma, who came out of nowhere and just started like crushing it in the weight room. And of course, I want to say she went up like 120 pounds overall with all of her lifts combined. And then no surprise, my buddy Adelino, one of our throwers, he just in his back squat alone, I think he was, maybe high 400s. And, this competition really fired him up to the point where he's like, all right, well, let's keep adding the weight. We ended up getting to 600 pounds in the back squat, which I couldn't do until I was about 23. So the fact that he beat me at like 20s, it digs a little bit in here, but I'm proud that he was able to get such an accomplishment. But I've never seen such I'm probably going to do it every year now, just because of how excited these kids were getting of, inspiring each other to lift weights. And yeah, we're maxing out, but no, now we're doing it on a team. So you have to do better. Let's go. That was a cool thing to watch. And I'm hoping we can do other stuff like that. I was thinking about like one more competition before the season, at least.
Yeah, going off Frank's lifting challenge, it honestly was so fun because my team, we made a group chat on Snapchat. So we were all like messaging each other like, oh, when are you going to lift? Like, and then I think it was like Monday morning, or maybe it was the afternoon. We like probably like 5 or 6 of us from our team were all there. And there was like us and then like 2 other random team people. And we're like, oh yeah, we're all like cheering for each other, like playing loud music. We were all like pumping each other up. And it was just like awesome atmosphere. Like it was so awesome. And it's like, these people are like throwers, maybe distance, sprinters. And like, I don't really talk to them outside of practice usually, but it was just super awesome to like pump each other up and encourage each other.
I think what it ultimately boils down to is the fact that these guys are competitors. They came here to compete, and to be able to give them something in which they can have that competitive drive where we didn't have any meets, I think spoke volumes to these guys, and that camaraderie that Julia was talking about. We were able to take something and build something out of it, and introduce athletes to other athletes that maybe not normally your practices would align. And so it brings that tight knit even closer while satisfying that competitive drive that they were all hoping to get out. So that was super cool.
So one of the last questions we have is an outdoor track being contemplated?
That is a boss Frank question if I ever heard one. Did Boss Frank hear the question?
Frank, you're muted.
Here we go. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I definitely being contemplated.
How far down the road?
That's beyond contemplated.
All right, so do we have any other questions from the audience? Comments? All right, so I think since no one has any questions, we'll call it there. I just wanted to thank everyone again for joining us. From the audience, coaches, athletes, athletic director Frank. This will be uploaded to the Husson alumni YouTube page in the coming weeks. So if you feel the need to watch this again, it will be there. There's also going to be a survey sent to your email to get feedback on this Zoom. So if you could, please take the time out of your day to fill that out to help get these throughout more teams. So, all right, I think that's the end of it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night.
Right.